Backgammon is an easy game to learn. It's a game of skill and luck. When I win, I can claim it's due to my good skill, and when I lose, I can claim it's due to my bad luck. It's a fast action and fun to play either face to face on a real board or over the internet. You will spend many enjoyable years learning and improving at this game. Hi, my name is Will Tibbetts, and today I'm going to inform you of backgammon history, how to play, different strategies, and notable players. Let's begin with some rich history of backgammon in America. Beginning in the mid-1960s, the popularity of backgammon surged when Prince Alexis Obolensky, who was known as the father of modern backgammon, published a set of official rules. This led to the creation of International Backgammon Association, an organization of the first major international backgammon tournament. Backgammon clubs were formed and tournaments were held, resulting in a world championship promoted in Las Vegas in 1967. This led to most recently, the United States Backgammon Federation was organized in 2009 to repopularize the game in the United States. Now that we have some background of the modern day backgammon community, I'll show you how to play this challenging game. Backgammon is a game played by two players, each with 15 checkers on a board, consisting of 24 narrow triangles called a point. Here's an example of a board. You can see here, each of these triangles is the point. This setup right now is how you start off every single game. Here we have the dice for, you'll have your own set of dice for black and white. Here's a doubling cube, which determines the multiplier of each game, how much each game is worth. Essentially, you want to move, if I'm white, you want to move all your pieces around here to your home board. You have to have them all in here prior to moving them off the board. As soon as you get them all off the board, you win the game, if you get them off faster than your opponent. The players move their checkers around the board according to the rolls of the dice, and the first player to get all their checkers off is the winner. If you bear off all 15 of your checkers before your opponent has borne off any of theirs, you win a gammon or a double game. If you bear off all 15 of your checkers before your opponent has borne off any of theirs, and they have one or more checkers in your home board or on the bar, you win a backgammon or a triple game. In layman terms, if you achieve a gammon worth 2 or a backgammon worth 3, you multiply the 2 or the 3 with the doubling cube to determine how many points you've won for that game. Now that you have a brief overview of backgammon objectives, I'll share with you the different types of tactics. After the opening, backgammon players frequently rely on some established general strategies, combining and switching among them to adapt to the changing conditions of the game. The most direct strategy is the running game, which is moving as quickly as possible around the board. Again, I'll show you. Essentially, you just want to move these as quickly as possible without getting hit by your opponent, and just run over and get them all out. Doesn't always happen that way, but if you can, it's a good approach. And then there's also the priming game, which involves building a wall of checkers called a prime. Covering a number of consecutive points, a checker trapped behind a 6-point prime cannot escape until the prime is broken. Here's an example of a 6-point prime. You can see here, your opponent is on the bar, which always comes out in your home board. You can see there's no way there's no possible roll that he can achieve to get out of here. So there's a term called dancing. He'll just keep rolling up here, and you can keep moving all your pieces. He can't move until he gets out. So it's an effective strategy if you can hold it. The back game is generally used only to salvage a game wherein a player is already behind. Using a back game as an initial strategy is usually unsuccessful. here is an example of somebody playing a back game. You can see you're already significantly behind in the pip count. So the red opponent here has formed 2 primes and back in the home station. You can see he's already got a couple pieces off, but the odds are for him to get all those pieces off without opening a free hit is not very likely. So in the meantime, the red opponent is building up a large point prime up here, 5 to 6. So when this does open up and you are able to hit him, he'll be set up and he can move all his pieces and more than likely win this game. So now you know some of the various types of strategies. Let's look at some of the renowned backgammon players. There are many excellent backgammon players worth recognizing in current time and in the past. Paul Magriel has not only written books on the game, but he has skills to back it up. Magriel won more major backgammon tournaments than any other player in the world. He is also considered one of the greatest teachers of all time. Pia Jeppesen from Denmark is one of the most important figures of female backgammon. Jeppesen has won nearly every ladies' tournament trophies. Today I've given you a summary of backgammon history in America. I've identified the aim of the game. I covered several strategies to be victorious over your opponent. Finally, I gave you some highlights of a couple prominent backgammon players. The constant change of events makes this game fun and challenging. Hopefully, this speech gave you an interest to play.